Sunday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting Team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade. Hello, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry about the hiccups. Sometimes the internet in Nigeria can be very, very annoying. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. Welcome to this live broadcast show. This live broadcast show is live, okay, unedited. So don't think that we have some back end trying to edit what is going on. So please, apologies for starting late. My name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. Okay, thank you for hooking up with us on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook live broadcast show. We started this topic last week Monday, on church growth without gimmicks. So I'm thanking you for hooking up with us. We are so glad you are a part of this live broadcast show. And I'm a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting. I'm a certified church consultant with Society for Church Consulting, and Magnicraft Consulting is a church consulting firm that helps churches grow healthier through empirical assessment, trainings, and strategic blueprints. So feel free to talk to me. I'm a certified church consultant and also known as a church health guardian of the 21st century. Thank you for all those who are commenting, who are sharing our content, who are liking, who are telling us how timely our broadcast content is to them. We want to thank you so much. If you have missed part 1 of this 5 series of church growth without gimmicks, I want you to go to my Facebook page, go to my YouTube channel, and see how you're going to get to catch up some of those. The social media handle is scrolling on the screen. And please get back to those videos. So we're going to go on part 2 today with church growth without gimmicks. Okay, God actually wants not to be identified with things that are shady. Okay, there's no how the Holy God we want to use unhealthy practices to get His work done. So church leaders need to know and understand what entity they are trying to grow. Okay, if you are trying to grow a baby, you know exactly what you are trying to grow. If you are trying to grow a business, you should know what you are trying to grow. If you are trying to get the church to grow, you need to know what you are trying to grow. And so for me, the first thing I will say quickly is that church leaders need to be good students of church design. Okay, what does it entail for a church to exist? What does it entail for a church to be alive? What does it entail for the church to make the impact they need to make? God's idea, church is God's idea. And so when it's God's idea, we need to be frank with ourselves that church is not man's idea. Church setup is God's idea. And I know quickly that most of the pastors I've spoken with usually want their church to grow. And so that resilience in pastors to make sure that they see tangible results in terms of church growth is so prominent. And so most of them want to resort to unhealthy practices or dubious means or gimmicks to be able to make sure that the church is growing. Now, in summary, I like to look at the church like a human being. I like to look at the church like the tripartite nature of a man. We have the spiritual dimension of the church, we have the soul dimension of the church, we have the body dimension of the church. And in all these dimensions, there shouldn't be any compromise, there shouldn't be any gimmicks at all in all these dimensions. Most churches really want to get it right in the spiritual dimension. And as I can tell you quickly and get to some of my videos, the top side of the fishbone diagram that is showing on the screen is the spiritual side, okay, of the church, where one of my mentors, Chuck Lawless, want to say as church health systems, okay, or functions. So you have the prayer, you have ministry, you have evangelism, you have discipleship, you have fellowship, and worship. Those are the top side. The bottom side is more organizational, which Jim Biber brought into the concept of the fishbone diagram. And you see, what I'm trying to say here is you need a balance of all the spiritual dimensions, all the soul dimensions, and all the body. That I've seen churches physically, the building is good, the way they relate physically, everything, their asset liability is good, they understand the financials. But you see, there's more to what you see that makes the church tick. Okay, so the soul must be healthy, the spirit must be healthy, and the body must be healthy. So there are different types of growth. So you need to understand what it means when you have this type of growth. There's numerical growth, there's quantitative growth, there is qualitative growth, and there's extension growth, there's expansion growth, there's biological growth, there is conversion growth. And conversion growth is one of the things that we need to make sure that we get those kind of growth in our churches. So for me, quickly, as church leaders, you can't be leading churches or be called church leaders if you are not good students of churches. So in the Bible, we have a lot of churches right in the Bible that we can study how those churches came to existence, how those churches are actually run, and how those churches can actually make the impact in their community. So study local churches in the Bible. Gimmicks won't work when you are working for God. Gimmicks won't work when you are working with God. God does not permit the use of gimmicks. Okay, God does not permit the use of the tools of wickedness to be able to grow the church. It's not working doesn't mean that God is not involved. Okay, and so don't get to use diabolic means or gimmicks or all kinds of enhancers, physical enhancers, to make sure that church is going. Seek growth, seek church growth that is healthy, seek church growth that is natural, organic, that God is actually involved. Okay, and one of the things I will say quickly is that there are growth engines that your church needs to make sure that they maximize. Okay, I'm going to mention a couple of them, or maybe all of them that I know of. There are growth engines that if you are able to put those growth engines in place, your church will grow without even using any gimmicks at all. One has to do with evangelism. That's one growth engine that your church has. Evangelism. Okay, the second one has to do, and you have to have a plan for it. Evangelism plan. Okay, the other one is discipleship. What is the next step of a disciple till when the person is matured? Okay, that's discipleship. We also have leadership development. Okay, how do you develop these disciples into leadership positions? So all these three, there are other ones, but let me just mention these three to make sure that you understand. Your church must have a plan for evangelism. The church must have a plan for discipleship. I mean, the plan must be endless, because somebody who is a member of a church 10 years, 15 years should also have a discipleship process in place, or else if they are out of the process, they are out of development, and they are out of hitting the maturity that they need to get. So as leaders, you can't grow beyond your church. There's always a leadership lead. If your church needs to grow, your church leaders have to grow. The moment your church leaders are growing, then there is that resulting effect that your church is going to grow. So a leader cannot outgrow the church. The church will always want to align with the growth pace of the leader. So when you grow, you set up your church to grow. When you grow, you give your church a good opportunity. You give your church the empowered capacity to actually grow. So especially in terms of sermon preparation, in terms of your spiritual capacity, in terms of your emotional capacity, as church leaders who are leading churches, once the head is growing, there is a high probability that the body will grow. So as you're growing, ensure you stick with the gospel as you preach the pulpit. Let there not be a compromise in your gospel preaching, in your gospel preparation, in your gospel dissemination. Compromise from the pulpit is dangerous to the church growth dynamics of your church. Okay, once there's compromise from the sermon, there's going to be a lot of manipulation, a lot of gimmicks, and manipulation won't help real church growth. Manipulation will not take you to where God wants you to be. In fact, the more you are manipulating people, the more you want to be evolving as a schemer to manipulate more. You can't manipulate everyone all the time and you'll not be caught. Somehow, as you are manipulating, people will begin to figure you out. And once they figure you out, it's dangerous because you must have increased your level towards a height that before you know it, you're going to just have a fall for it. So make sure you don't subscribe to manipulation. You don't subscribe to leadership styles. And if you get to part 1, you understand what I'm saying. Leadership styles that are not godly. Leadership styles that are not, you can't see them in the leadership style of Jesus. Okay, there are a lot of ungodly leadership styles that should not be used to run the church. They might be good to run businesses, but they are not good to actually run the church, because the purpose of the church is to make and mature disciples. And so one of the ways at which you can ensure that is to make sure that your congregation is actually inside small group structure, which is very key to the growth. There's no how my body is going to grow if cells are not growing, if tissues are not growing, if organs are not growing, if systems are not growing, and that's what makes the body grows. So the body cannot grow because the body is made up of a group of systems, and each system is made up of a group of organs, and the organs also is made up of a group of tissues, and the tissues also made up of a group of cells. And that's how it goes on and on, that if your body needs to grow, your systems need to grow. If your system needs to grow, your organs need to grow. If your organs need to grow, your tissues must grow. And if your tissue must grow, your minutest cell, which is in your body, has to grow. And so what do you say if you look at it? What constitutes your church? You have departments, fellowships, you have ministries. All these department, fellowship, and ministries, are they growing? The more these fellowships and ministries are growing, the more the body, the church, the local church is going to grow. The more your church is going to grow. At some point, you have to look at it on a broader perspective, that instead of making your church to grow from the local church perspective, can you look at it from smaller units? How can the choir unit grow? How can the ushering unit grow? How can the church leaders grow? And once all these smaller are growing, there's no how that the church is going to grow. Last thing I'm going to say, if you're one of the church leaders or pastors who are subscribing to gimmicks, the earlier is to stop, and the earliest time is now. At some point in your ministry and your church life cycle, your members will question your authenticity. Your members will challenge your genuity. Your members are going to challenge your integrity. If they challenge Jesus and they say, you just ask them, who am I? Okay, the people need to understand your spirit. They have all the right to test all spirits. Your spirit is not exempted. And so when they test your spirit, do they see that you are subscribing to things outside God to make sure that things are done in your church, including church growth? So make sure that at that point, when people are questioning your source, your spirit, that you are actually genuine, you are actually having integrity, you are actually you are actually aligning with God, because God, Christ, is the head of the church, and there's no how you can be leading the church to church growth without Christ actually giving you the go ahead to do that. I'll give you one more that has to do with the kingdom agenda. If your church is not making a contributive effort to the church, to the kingdom agenda, then there's no how your church is not doing things that are with gimmicks. Okay, I've not seen churches who are claiming to want their church to grow when they don't have the passion and the desire to increase God's kingdom or to advance the kingdom's agenda in their community. So find a way to make sure that your people are kingdom minded. Your people are kingdom minded, that whatever souls, when they are preaching, whatever they are doing, they are not actually doing it to advance the empire someone is building, but they are actually advancing kingdom agenda. I want to wrap it up here so that we can do it in good time. Thank you for following us on so far, and thank you for all the comments that I'm seeing on the comment section. Thank you for the comment section. I'm so grateful. Please feel free to like our post. If this video has been helpful to you, please give us a like. Let the artificial intelligence actually favor the videos, especially on YouTube, so that the artificial intelligence can push some of these videos out. We've got a good start last week, Monday. Please give us a like. Do us a share to your community. Drop us a comment. You have been listening to me. Please let me hear from you. Let me learn from you. What are the gimmicks that you feel that pastors can take away from what they're doing in their churches? Drop me a comment in the comment section and what you feel about church growth without gimmicks. I'll be glad to respond to you. You have any church-related questions? You have any inquiries of any kind in terms of church? I'm a church consultant. Please let us have it through any of the social media scrolling on the screen. Sure, you're going to get more than an answer from me. Perhaps you have any question, please, or any clarification, please let me know, and let's see how we can be helpful to you going forward. All right, we do what they call consultations, we do trainings, we do revitalizations, we do strategic planning. Our number on the screen. Please reach out to us so we can help your church move from where it is right now to where it should be in God. And with God, we know that things can work out well for your church in no time. Till I come your way next week, Monday, with the continuation of part 3, I say bye-bye. God bless you. And I love what you're doing. Be encouraged in the Lord.
Church consultation? Wow, most definitely yes. Just as you should see your primary care physician once a year, you should have a church consultation once a year. Churches are organisms that change, age, they have health concerns, and in some cases, die. Church consultations help you stay strong and healthy. It helps you avoid the painful and unhealthy changes that occur over time. Church consultants know where to look, the question to ask, and will provide appropriate solutions for health issues. Magnicraft Consulting helps you lead from your strengths, assist you in identifying and improving your weaknesses, examine all ministry areas for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, including potential threats, provide you with honest feedback, diagnosis, analysis, and actionable solutions. If you want to know more, call us and we'll sit down with you and bring out our ministry stethoscope. Check out our services at our website, www.magnicraftconsulting.com. Get the right and appropriate diagnosis, prescriptions, and services from a certified church consultant. Contact us now on 0802-324-2258. Email contact@magnicraftconsulting.com, magnicraftconsulting@gmail.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @Magnicraft Limited. Magnicraft Consulting, doing church God's way.